Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I have an update to share about one of Trump's Capitol insurrectionists. It's time for an episode of Where Are They Now?
Matthew Bledsoe was arrested. Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
So 54-year-old Iowa resident Kenneth Rader was explicit in his desire for violence following the 2020 election. On November 7th, he posted on social media saying that he joined a militia, and he wrote in all caps, quote, "Civil war." Rader also referred to people celebrating Biden's win as treasonous, and he asked, quote, "You do know what the consequences of treason is, right?" He posted again in late November and early December saying, quote, "There will be no peaceful transfer of power," and that a Biden inauguration, quote, "is going to spill blood in the streets." Rader also warned Biden, quote, "We the people will not allow you to walk through that gate." Then Rader's threats became more specific as the days went by. On December 20th and 21st, Rader commented on Facebook, writing, quote, "Is this guy really that stupid as to think that if he tries to walk in that White House, it won't be surrounded by millions of patriots?" Also, quote, "I call dibs, I'll behead him like ISIS." And quote, "There's no legal protection for treason." He posted again on December 24th, writing, quote, "We are right around the corner from civil war. I'm ready to do this. Don't get me wrong. I would much rather see a peaceful homeland, but I will not sit back and do nothing to stop it." In private messages, Rader talked of civil war, and he said that he would go, quote, "to the front line." He also shared an image, and it was basically an invitation that was making the rounds online. It was inviting people to, quote, "Operation Occupy the Capitol, January 6, 2021. And Rader sent that along with a message that read, quote, "We're going to remove the corrupt politicians and take our country back." And quote, "I will not stand by and let this go unanswered." On January 4th, Rader encouraged others to join him in DC, and he wrote in part, quote, "Let's go show these corrupt politicians that we the people are not having this." Then on January 5th, he stated, quote, "I'm on my way to the front line. We are one day away from civil war." On January 6th, Rader was seen cheering as members of the mob surrounded a group of officers. This was on Capitol grounds. They were yelling at them. They were preventing them from advancing towards the Capitol. And then Rader was later seen as one of the first people to climb the inauguration scaffolding. He ascended the Capitol steps, got up to the building. He was also seen on surveillance video entering the Capitol. This was less than 90 seconds after the initial breach. After exiting the building, Rader shared a video on Facebook, and in it, he showed the mob and he said, quote, "Look at that. See what I'm talking about? See them out there? Everybody thought we were joking, man. Everybody thought it was a joke or didn't take it serious. Well, this is what you call serious." Following the Capitol attack, Rader bragged to friends and family that, quote, "A point was made. Nothing is beyond the people's reach." And, quote, "We took the Capitol." And then he told his sister that if Biden was inaugurated, quote, "You can bet your ass this will be what be happening daily to wherever he goes. Yesterday proves we're unstoppable." And he continued to share QAnon and election conspiracy theories. And as others were arrested for January 6th, Rader told friends, quote, "I will never sell out my convictions for nothing. Like I said, I've already said I'm prepared to die for my cause." And quote, "I don't care if the feds come arrest me, and I won't be a pussy like the rest of them when the judge says you're going to prison. I'm going to say, no disrespect, Your Honor, but I made peace with God before I left, so let's do this." Well, when the feds came a-knocking, Rader changed his tune. I know you guys are shocked. In a September 2021 interview with the FBI, Rader said that by the time he reached the Capitol, everything was all over. And he claimed that he only looked in a window, but he never actually entered the building. And then during his arrest on January 20th of this year, Rader again claimed that he didn't enter the Capitol, but then he conceded, I may have taken a step inside to pick up a souvenir, because he was apparently seen on video picking up broken glass from the ground. And he was saying, it's going to be worth tons of money. So much for, let's do this. I'm not going to be a pussy like the rest of them. Okay. And you guys are not going to be shocked to hear Rader has been convicted of 23 crimes since he was 17 years old. And he was arrested an additional 11 times, but the charges were dismissed. So his convictions include crimes like theft, burglary, assault, threatening to kill a woman, biting off someone's ear, driving under the influence, and drug-related offenses. He's also violated his parole and probation conditions 7 times, and he was charged with crimes of stalking and trespassing on his ex-girlfriend's property just in October and November of 2021. In regard to January 6th, Rader was charged with entering a restricted building or grounds, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, and parading in a Capitol. In June of this year, he pleaded guilty to the parading charge, for which he was facing up to 6 months in jail, 5 years of probation, and $5,000 in fines. The prosecutor, though, requested only 90 days in jail, 3 years of probation, 60 hours of community service, and a $500 restitution fee. Unfreaking believable. Considering that they pointed out that Rader, quote, has been convicted of an offense almost every 2 or 3 years since he was 17 years old. And they told the judge that while he's been out on pretrial release, he's used meth multiple times. He failed to report for outpatient treatment, and he repeatedly failed to show up for drug testing. Rader also failed to appear in court in July of this year for the stalking charge, which resulted in a warrant being issued for his arrest. So he was arrested and detained for that. And check this out. This guy published a book called Psychotic Monkey. So this was a semi-autobiographical novel. This was about an addict who overcomes his addiction. In December of 2021, well after the Capitol attack, the Sioux City Journal published an article about this book, and they interviewed Rader. He told the journalists that he was in talks about his book to turn it into a feature film. And Rader said, quote, "You can only hide from the truth for so long." What a prescient comment, huh? I couldn't locate any details about what went down at the sentencing hearing, but U.S. District Judge Royce Lamberth presided over Rader's case, and he gave the prosecutor exactly what they asked for, with the exception of community service. He sentenced Rader to 90 days in jail, 3 years of probation, and a $500 restitution fee. And it sounds like he's probably going to be serving additional time for the trespassing and the stalking charges anyway. So what can you even say anymore, guys? When I hear more about this very troubled man, I will let you know. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.